Imagine being convicted for a crime you didn't commit and spending decades behind bars. It's happened to dozens of men around North Carolina. But tonight, a WBTV investigation has found some have gotten paid for the time they lost while locked up, while others, including Ronnie Long, who was released in August, have not. WBTV's chief investigative reporter Nick Oxner tells us the difference hinges on the refusal of Governor Roy Cooper to sign one piece of paper.
When Ronnie Long walked out of prison in late August, it was the first time he was a free man in more than 44 years. He was wrongfully convicted for rape he didn't commit in Concord. It took decades to get him out of jail. And now, even though he's free, he's got very little money and just one option to get any compensation from the state.
He'll get nothing for it if the governor doesn't grant a pardon of innocence.
Jamie Lau is a professor with the Duke Law School's Wrongful Convictions Clinic. He represented Long in the case that freed him from prison.
The charges have been dismissed. He's no longer considered a suspect or have a conviction in the case. Even
though a federal appeals court vacated his sentence and he's out of prison, he's still not technically innocent in the eyes of the state. He needs a pardon of innocence in order for that to happen, and before he can take the steps towards getting any money. And that may be difficult.
Presently, it's impossible to obtain any sort of relief from the current administration, whether it's a pardon or a commutation.
Governor Roy Cooper hasn't taken any action on pardon requests in the nearly 4 years he's been governor. In fact, the website tracking pardons is outdated, and Cooper's office won't release a list of pending applications.
He'll be the first governor in more than 40 years to go through a term without granting clemency to a single person.
Does that shock you a little bit?
I mean, it's shocking in light of, I'm a progressive individual. Roy Cooper is supposed to be representing me and other progressive individuals who want to see the criminal justice system do better.
I think there needs to be a lot more transparency in the process.
Chris Muma is a lawyer and executive director of the North Carolina Center on Actual Innocence. She spent 20 years helping free innocent men from prison. And she says the current system that relies on a pardon is a legal hurdle that seems unnecessary.
It defies common sense. And when something like that is so strongly defies common sense, it tells you the process is broken.
But it's not just pardons. Muma and other lawyers I talked to for this story all tell me that prosecutors and the Attorney General's office make it extremely difficult to help free innocent men from prison in the first place.
Do you see these brick marks on my forehead? That's from beating my head against the wall. It is incredibly hard.
Muma's had to fight with the Attorney General's office to free innocent men for decades under Mike Easley, Roy Cooper, and now Josh Stein.
The response from the AG's office has actually been worse in cases where we have dealt with them versus a district attorney. District attorneys understand that they have discovery obligations.
What I'm hearing you say, though, is North Carolina does not have a culture that upholds justice and making sure justice is served above all else.
That's not the sense I get. That's not the sense I get in my work.
In a statement, a spokeswoman for Stein said he is, quote, committed to pursuing justice in every case and is working hard to reform the criminal justice system. She also pushed back on Muma's claim that the AG's office withholds evidence, known as discovery, in innocence cases.
I have met with the AG's office, and they have specifically said we are not going to encourage post-conviction discovery, period.
Muma, like Lau, has clients waiting for a pardon from Cooper before they can get on with their lives. There are currently 4 men waiting for a pardon of innocence in North Carolina.
Do you think the state needs to change the process to declare people innocent and to get them the compensation that they're entitled to?
There has to be a better way. Now, it's worth noting that the governor's office didn't even acknowledge multiple requests to answer questions for this story and wouldn't let me ask a question on today's press conference with